And we're live. Good afternoon, BounceBack Network in BounceBack Philippines. This is the second episode of the Global Entrepreneurship Business Excellence Coaching Series. And with me, I'd like to introduce our good friend, Colin Christie from Global Chamber Manila. Okay, Sean, please put Colin. Hey, Colin, how are you?
Hi, good to see you again.
Yeah,
We're
thank you.
all trying to
Last
stay cool in the heat.
Definitely last episode is a blast, right? So again, Colin, thank you for your support to the Bounce Back Philippines network, and then Global Chambers. What's bigger than us? It's a global organization, and thank you for bringing your expertise and your network into the community, right? Okay, so let's welcome our Colin. Would you to invite our co-panelist, Dishen, to
Sure.
join us? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to warmly welcome Deshen, our co-panelist, all the way from Johannesburg, South Africa, where they're going into cooler weather as we're going into super hot times. So it's great to have you back, Deshen. Thanks for being with us again.
Great, thanks. Thank you, Sam, Colin, for the introduction. I envy you guys with the warmer weather while we're going to winter now, right?
Yeah, definitely, Dishen.
Good to be
But
back.
we end your colder weather there. No, gentlemen, we look at the numbers, and over 1,000 people are able to watch, our shows, both live and replay. So thank you for that. As you know, there are a lot of things happening right now in the Philippines, right? So there are businesses that are trying to go back, to bounce back, but there are also businesses that are trying to pivot, right? So again, let's recap. Colin shared with us, key points during the first episode, right? So can you please just recap on what you said about uh, on our first episode?
Sure, right. So episode one was great to see that we had good reach of folks. We just tried to start laying the foundation. We're doing this multi-week series on entrepreneurship and global entrepreneurship. So Dishan kind of set the stage in terms of mindset, what it takes to be successful as an entrepreneur, the grit that it takes and the drive and the passion and the vision. I gave some practical tools around building your model a bit and then using some tools like SWOT and just some basic tools that help you to be a little bit disciplined and intentional. I think that was kind of the watchword I used last week was be intentional about how you go about doing your business. So that I think last week was a great kickoff and sort of setting the stage for today and future weeks.
Yep, thank you, Colin. And Dishan, of course, you shared our entrepreneur platform, right? So business enabling tool. So kindly share briefly, what you shared to our audience last week.
Yes, no, definitely. Touching on what Colin said, my talk was a lot around mindfulness and having the right mindset. And as Colin, aptly put it, it's about intention, right? And having a plan. I think if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? And I think that's the underlying, remark. With regards to BET, we excited, as I mentioned, in the media camp in our first episode, to be a part of this journey as we walk this with Bounce Back in the Global Chamber Philippines and other partners to assist organizations in doing exactly that, and that's bouncing back. So hopefully, our early adopter program is available. Sam, we will be sharing the information. Colin, we will be sharing information. Please join the program. I think as an entrepreneurs, it's great support that you would be able to get from really a great lineup of speakers. That way you would actually benefit and be able to take your business to the next level.
Yep, definitely. Thank you, Dishan. Okay, so we can't wait to introduce our next speaker. So Colin, please do the honors in introducing our next speaker. Really excited to have him on board. Okay.
Yeah, I've been so looking forward today because I get to welcome just not only just a really phenomenal speaker, but a great friend as well, personal friend. So I'm very grateful to Ray Luktu that he's joining us today. Ray is a digital transformation thought and action leader. He's a sought after public speaker and a trainer. He's an educator. He's a columnist. I think we could probably consume most of his time introducing him. He's just accomplished so much, but I will touch on a few really key components. Ray has been in the business enterprise world. He's held senior leadership posts in some very recognizable companies, including Microsoft Philippines and Globe Telecom, Samsung, Emerson Network Power. So he's really understands the enterprise side, but yet at the same time, he also gets entrepreneurship in small businesses and SME. In fact, he's the chairman of the SME market development of SME market development for the Foundation of Filipino Entrepreneurs. He also serves in quite a number of business associations. He's with FinEx, he chairs the ICT committee. He's involved with the Management Association of the Philippines, Makati Business Club, Philippine Chamber of Commerce. So this is one very busy guy. He also teaches, he lectures, he's a lecturer in the MBA program at De La Salle, also adjunct faculty at AIM. And then he also contributes to the business community through his column in Manila Times, Manila Bulletin, Business World Standard. So he writes a lot, both digital and print. So just phenomenal. Ray has an MBA from DLSU. He's done courses at the Wharton School in the US and other schools around the world, actually. So, Ray, I could go on and on about you. Mostly what I like to say is a great friend, just a tremendous friend to Filipino business as well. So, Ray, thank you so much for being here today.
Well, thank you, Colin. Thank you for that generous introduction.
There you are. We see you now. Welcome, Ray.
Hey, welcome, Ray. Okay, so Ray, we're going to leave you in a while. So please, the floor is yours.
Okay, so let me share my screen for
Sure.
everyone to see. Just a minute. All right, so I'm sharing my screen now. So can you see my screen? Yeah, there. Yeah, I can see. All right. So I'll talk about how businesses can innovate amid the pandemic. So I'll be, talking about, framework that we use in our consulting, and give examples, both in the large and as well as small companies. So, I was trying to look for examples in small companies, but there's quite limited there. So it's going to be a combination of, large, medium, and small company examples of innovation. So my company, as Colin generously introduced, we are a digital and culture transformation company. We help companies plan for and execute digital transformation, including culture transformation. Now, when the pandemic happened, it caught everyone by surprise, and it has impacted global markets beyond the previous downside of economic issues that we had. So this is unprecedented economic impact globally. So all businesses, big, small, have been impacted by this. And one, prime example that I give, a large company is Jollibee. Jollibee immediately after the, immediately when the pandemic set in, they immediately changed their business model. So from the usual, retail restaurants, they immediately reconfigured their business to cloud kitchens. So cloud kitchens is a new business model where restaurants, big and small, are using inexpensive areas and locations where they prepare their food for delivery. So Jollibee is an example that we can pick up if you're a small company or medium-sized company on how to respond to crisis like the pandemic. And this brings us to the concept of business model. Business model is an important concept. When the pandemic came in, business model innovation and reviewing your business model has become an immediate necessity. So a business model is how your company creates, delivers, and captures value. Now, these are important components. So how your company creates value. So creating value may be in the form of distribution, manufacturing, adding some value to existing products. So it has to be recognized. No? Value has to be recognized when you create that value, and how you deliver that value. No? So delivery of value has been primarily remote, online delivery, or e-commerce delivery platforms. And then capturing value is through the form of course, payment and profit, no, for your business. So this looks simple, no, as a model, but a lot of companies have struggled, no, to reconfigure their business models, no, to respond to the crisis that we are facing now. So that's why business model innovation has become a critical strategic action nowadays for companies, maybe big and small. And in our consulting work, we use the business model canvas. No? This is not a new tool. No? It has been in existence for more than a decade. No? It is being used by companies, no? Especially when you're a small company, when you're starting up, you want to understand how your company creates, delivers, and captures value. And there are several components to the business model. No? You have, of course, your customer segments. Who are your target customers? No? And then customer relationships, how you establish that relationship with your customer, how you deliver the value to the customer through different channels. No? It can be digital or physical. And then the value proposition. This is what your company is producing in forms of products or services. And then all these activities, no, combined results in a revenue stream. No? All right, a revenue stream can be in different forms. It can be subscription, it can be pay-per-use, it can be transactional. And supporting these activities are key activities in your organization. If you're in manufacturing, manufacturing is a key activity. Key resources. Key resources, if you're in manufacturing, then you have a manufacturing plant, you have employees, and a labor force that goes along with the manufacturing. Key partners are critical now, especially these days when you need key partners in certain technologies. And then all of these key partners and key resources and key activities result in your cost structure. And if you look at the revenue streams and cost structure, of course, the net of this is profit. So it is profit. And that's our objective in business, is to make a profit. That's why it's critical to understand these different components. Now, when you talk about business model innovation, there are 4 types of business model innovation. So one type is product business model innovation. This is where you innovate your offering. So if you're offering a physical product, a digital product, or services, this is how you change, reconfigure your offering to suit your customers. So that's product business model innovation or product innovation. Another type of business model innovation is customer innovation. So this involves innovating your customer segments, targeting blue ocean customers, new targets that you have never served, innovating your channel, and innovating how you build your customer relationship. Now, the next business model innovation component is your resource innovation. This involves innovating your key activities, key resources in your organization, and even forging key partners. And then lastly is the revenue innovation, how you generate revenue. So different forms, and even how you structure your cost components. So these are the different business model innovation components. You can have product innovation, customer innovation, resource innovation, and revenue innovation. You can innovate in one or all of these components in your company. If you're a small business, you can innovate in these 4 areas. Now, so how do we innovate our business model? That has been a key question of businessmen when the pandemic struck us last year. How do I change my business model to become relevant and even grow and thrive in this environment. Now, the author of the business model canvas, no, Alex Osterwalder, no, said that the best innovators are not necessarily the most creative people. The best innovators are those who are outstanding at pattern recognition. So it is recognizing patterns. It is actually copying, no? Copying existing successful business models. And there's a lot, no? There's a lot of successful business model innovations out there which your business can copy. No? So copying is the key, no? In order to innovate your business model. And now a framework that we use in our consulting work is examining these components of the business model. So one component of the business model, which is the operations and business model component, consisting of profit, network, structure, and process. Now, another component of your business is your products. No? It includes product performance, product system. And then the third component of your business are the customer-related activities like service, channel, brand, and customer engagement. And then lastly, the most important component are your people. No? So the culture of your employees. No? Now, you look for areas of innovation in these components, and then you decide which capabilities you want to improve. No? Is it cost efficiency? Is it creating new business models, innovative products, sales productivity, and so on? And then lastly, you implement certain technologies. No? Now, for small businesses, technology has become inexpensive nowadays, especially with cloud technologies. No? So, a lot of businesses, especially small ones, are still afraid to try new technologies. But technology has become so affordable nowadays, because they are subscription based. Any business can subscribe to capabilities to help your business. So this is the framework that we use, and we will discuss the different components one by one. For example, profit model. This is the way your company is making money. So with the onset of the pandemic, a business model of subscription, e-commerce, has become popular. So e-commerce, online business has become a popular business model now. And a profit model that has also become popular is subscription-based. So imagine, you are delivering vegetables, supplies to households, businesses, business clients. You can explore using subscription business model. Now, network. These are the connections with others to create value. So how you create value by connecting to other organizations. So with the pandemic setting in last year, a lot of businesses have forged relationships with logistics partners. So a lot of small businesses now have forged relationships with Lalamove riders. So Lalamove has become a common logistics partner by a lot of small businesses. An example is how the small business, Ginger 45, they are producing these products, turmeric powder and salabat powder. So Colin, and this is something that you drink to help improve your health. So they partnered with transportation providers, and they are selling online now. So partnering with your transportation providers will ensure always available transportation and efficient services. Structure is the alignment of your talent and assets in your company. So one example is how this company, a small company into catering, what they did was to implement chatbots to automate answering inquiries, requests for quotation, etc. So it has transformed how they operate and how they structure their organizations. Before, their limited employees that does the food preparation, they answer inquiries online through Facebook Messenger. So it takes away the time from the actual work in food preparation. where by implementing a chatbot, which is integrated into Facebook Messenger, they are able to efficiently answer queries and maximize the time they spend in preparing food. Now, process are all the signature and superior methods for doing your work. An example, no? This is a big company, though, no? But I give them as an example of how to tweak your manufacturing, line in order to serve new needs in the market. For example, how San Miguel and Emperador has reconfigured their manufacturing line to produce alcohol, disinfecting alcohol, because they are anyway producing alcoholic beverages. Why not manufacture disinfecting alcohol? Product performance are the distinguishing features and functionality of your offering. An example is how almost all businesses in the Philippines move to digital. Before, digital banking is few and sparse among digital banking companies, but even rural banks, smaller banks, financial services are now into digital. All right, so there are already inexpensive applications and technologies that can enable your business to improve the product performance. Another component of your business are the product system. These are complementary products and services. An example is how 3D printing is playing a big role in the fight against COVID-19. So in many parts of the globe, with the lack of equipment, supplies, small businesses, medium businesses are manufacturing their supplies through 3D printing. 3D printing technology is already inexpensive. Now, service are all the support and enhancements that surround your offerings. So an example I give is the rise of community commerce. Now, this is highly applicable to small businesses. With the with companies and employees working at home, and with the implementation of quarantine. Now, businesses have concentrated their efforts within their communities. And communities can come in two forms. A geographic community commerce, which is within a village, within a barangay, a few barangays, and then a virtual community commerce. So your business can engage, can improve its service by engaging in two types of community commerce. One is geographic commerce, and another is virtual community commerce. And I'll dwell into this a bit. So physical community commerce, an example is the Salcedo Community Market. A lot of community markets have been established in several areas in the Philippines. So combining your resources as small businesses, you can organize community commerce. This is another example of a community organic market in Cavite. So it's a physical community commerce. Now, community commerce can also be virtual. For example, you can have community commerce in Facebook by utilizing the Facebook marketplace functionality. In this example, Benguet Veggies in our village, which has organized the supply of vegetables within our community. There are several community commerce that has been established already. You can have Facebook groups, marketplaces, and so on. Another example of community commerce, you can tap into existing groups. For example, a lot of enterprising people selling their wares in this group in Facebook. Now, virtual community commerce can also be effective by tapping into a bigger community. So, for example, you can advertise in Facebook by tapping and targeting a select geographic community. So, Facebook advertising is quite inexpensive. A small business can spend a budget of a few thousand pesos to reach a bigger community. Now, a hybrid community commerce is this example. the community market. No? So this is a community market on wheels. No? So what they do is promote their food online, and then they schedule delivery of food stuff in several communities in Metro Manila. No? Now, that is service. No? So one way of improving your business is by innovating how you serve your customers. No? Now, another component of the business is your channel, how your offerings are delivered to customers and users. An example of innovation is how companies shifted to e-commerce. When the pandemic set in, e-commerce became a big business model innovation. Now, another innovation is related to community commerce, is how to move your physical business, to the community itself. No? So, like how these big banks move their services to communities by engaging a banking on wheels. No? Brand are the representations of your offerings and business. Now, with businesses going online, it is important to build your brand. No? If your company is small, it is important to invest in brand building. No? How companies have become relevant is by creating content. No? So content is king, no? During this time of COVID. By making your brand relevant and useful. So you can promote your brand in several platforms, in social media, YouTube, and other platforms. An example is this restaurant. It is part of a big company in the Hilton Group. But when hotels closed, no patrons came into these restaurants. So what they did to become relevant, they posted their recipe of their famous cookie recipe. So that's how they become relevant in this day and age. Another example is how this company, Chipotle in the US, used TikTok. Used TikTok to become relevant. So they posted a few second video of how to flip and make this container full of your favorite food in this retail in the US. So TikTok has become an important tool now in the Philippines and the world all over to engage your customers. Now, empowering your employees. Employees are the last component. So how working from home has become the new normal to combat the pandemic. So a lot of new technologies are available now, like collaboration tools, that you can use to empower your employees at home. So this is in summary. So you can innovate your company's business model by looking at the different components of your business. You can start small. You can innovate eventually in many or all of these components, and you can choose inexpensive technology or even non-technology related innovations. So just like partnering with your favorite rider in Lalamove and other transport companies. So again, just to summarize, you can innovate your business model by looking at the different components. And again, technology is inexpensive nowadays. You can look at different cloud technologies. You can use these technologies to innovate how you reach your customers, how you can innovate your product offering, you can innovate your resources, and even your revenue streams. So that's my presentation, and I hope you learned one thing or two. So thank you for listening.
Outstanding, Ray. That was excellent, and I was really pleased to see you start out with the business model canvas. We touched on that very briefly, last week, so that was a perfect segue from us to you. And so I just, point out to the audience here, you're getting the same advice from different experts. So Ray, I'm just, I'm sure you, I have two questions for you to start off the discussion. One is, you've made a couple of major transitions for yourself. You've gone from the corporate world, you had leadership positions in big companies, and now you're an entrepreneur yourself, and you have your consultancy. What were some of the challenges that you felt that you went through in that change? Because we probably have quite a few folks in the audience in similar positions. Maybe they've worked for large companies, or they've been involved, and now they're doing their own sort of entrepreneurial business because of the pandemic. Yeah. And then related to that would be direct to the pandemic. You, of course, had your consultancy up and running before the pandemic, so you had to make adjustments yourself. So I guess those two questions, adjusting from corporate world to entrepreneurship, and then adjusting to the pandemic. Could you touch on those two questions?
Yeah, sure, Colin. So, yeah, that's true, Colin. So, I was used to working in big corporations, commanding a big team of people, working for me. So, transitioning from a corporate job to entrepreneurship is not easy, guys. It is not easy. So, you have to, you have to build, your resources. At the start, you have to, make your company known. You have to promote, your company. You have to do everything yourself, right? So at the start, but the joy of seeing the fruits of your labor is unequal. So it cannot be compared with working in the corporate world. So there are a lot of challenges. Transitioning from big company to an entrepreneurship, starting with a small company. So that's why what you advised earlier, at the start, preparation, planning, planning and preparing, your company is very important. You cannot just blindly sell your product without understanding your market. You cannot just create a product without understanding the demand. So careful planning, careful study is very important. Now, like in my consulting firm, I'd like to believe that we are now competing head-on with big consulting firms like McKinsey. We have engagements against them. So, but our positioning as a small consulting firm is that we are, of course, inexpensive. But you get the kind of quality that that the big consulting firm will deliver. Apart from that, we do all the work. We do not just create PowerPoints, but we actually execute. We help companies execute, and that's the positioning that we presented to the market. It is understanding the gap in the market. Coming from Microsoft, I understood that there is a gap in digital transformation in the market. The big question of big and small companies: how can I transform digitally? How can I do this? But if you listen to big vendors, buy this, buy that, buy this company, buy this technology. But the question of the poor, medium-sized companies and small companies: I don't have money. I don't have enough resources. Why are you selling me this big, expensive technology? So that's why we started this business, Colin, and essentially to address the gap. So studying the market, understanding the gap, and then communicating a positioning. That was, I think, key to us, our company, being able to sustain and even grow our business. Now to the next question, Colin. Now when the pandemic set, before the pandemic, you wouldn't believe we have everyday engagements. We travel, all over the Philippines, engaging from north to south, and our revenue was triple, quadruple, right? So then the pandemic came. All of our engagements stopped. Stopped immediately. So the big question to me now is how do I transform? Everything now, everyone now is at home. The first thing that companies will cut are the consultants. So how can I make myself relevant again? Now, again, by understanding the need of the market, understanding the need of the market. So we study the market. What is the need of companies now in this pandemic? So the need of companies now is how they can enable their employees. How can they enable their companies to innovate to become relevant? So the positioning has remained, but the engagement has shifted to digital. So when we before the pandemic, our engagements were face to face. We do a lot of workshops face to face. Now we innovated how we deliver our workshops. Imagine delivering a customer journey mapping workshop online. How do you do that? Do I buy an expensive Miro application? No. I don't use that because my clients are varied. I use the simple Excel file. And like how do you help companies go through a business model canvas workshop? And you can have the expensive applications, but no, we use the simple lowly Excel file. We are successful in this shift.
Yeah, very interesting. I want to come back to this and unpack a little bit, sort of the nuts and bolts of the innovation process that you talked about. But I'm sure Dushan is chomping at the bit to get in on this. He's in Johannesburg, and he's also had a consulting background too. So Dushan, what's your reaction to what you're hearing from Ray, and what would you like to pose to him?
Yeah, Ray, that's exactly it, right? Coming from an ex-consulting background as well, I think if anything, the new normal, as they call it now, is doing a lot with very little, right? Because I think clients' budgets, disposable income has definitely shrunk. Not only from an objective point of view for your clients, but also from a spend point of view, right? So it's getting the value or extracting the value, and ensuring that you make a living as a consultant, but at the same time, your client grows, right? Because if they grow, you grow. That's just the chain. And just a question that I have is that what challenges have you seen predominant with your clients? Has it been a funding challenge? Has it been an access to market challenge? Has it been simple trading and business skills that's required? How is your consulting business changed from the quadruple revenue that you've had into this new normal now of survival mode for most businesses?
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you, Dushen. So what we did was study the business clients. So when the pandemic set in, we categorize business clients into three. So one are the non-spending clients. They stopped immediately spending. And which are these companies? These are companies in hospitality, of course. In entertainment. So these companies immediately stop their spending. There are those wait and see clients. So wait and see clients carefully spend where they study where they spend. Like they spend on critical technologies, critical resources, like work from home technologies, like innovation areas where they can be competitive again. And then there are forward-looking clients. So these are clients that still spend because they think that by spending you become ahead when the normalcy, a sense of normalcy comes in. So you have to understand these clients, and because we are a limited resource company, we have to carefully select our clients. So we don't consume much resource for those clients who are closed-minded when it comes to spending, because our services are consulting. In the same manner, Deshen, that if you're a small company, you need to carefully evaluate. Do I spend my resources marketing to companies that will not spend on my product? Or do I identify those companies that can spend money on the type of services that I offer? So studying your market is, again, key in this type of market now.
Yeah, if I can jump in, I think the same, obviously, we put it a little bit in a B2B context there, business to business, but I think the same thing applies in the consumer world. And Sam, to bring you in, I found it very interesting. Some of the examples Ray had touch on things that I know are very close to the heart of BounceBack. Things like community pantries and home-based businesses that are delivering, everyday needed items to households and things.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
wondering, Sam, what's your reaction to kind of the
Definitely.
innovation model that Ray
Well,
showed
yeah,
in that context?
I'm also a business model practitioner, so I also adopted that from Microsoft. And in fact, I built a data privacy canvas on top of the business model canvas. So really, I use it, not just in business but also in my personal life, Colin. So and Ray. So that's a beauty of a one-page framework like that. It's very versatile. I'd like to shift to Ray. In our community, we identified 12 competencies, right, that entrepreneurs need to be able to bounce back from the pandemic. And at the top of that is personal mastery. You've shared to us, how you have built your business, how you've transitioned from corporate to entrepreneurship. Can you share with us your personal, regimen, and how you were able to, strengthen your mind, your heart, and at the same time, of course, your spouse is with you in this journey, right? So you're both entrepreneurs yourselves. So can you please share with us, what are your, tips, the top 3 on how to have personal mastery during this pandemic? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good question, Sam. No? Because part of the consulting that we deliver is how to transform an organization's culture. No? And transforming a culture of an organization requires a change in mindset. No? And in many of our engagement nowadays, no, change of mindset is one of the most important first activity. No? So it's understanding, the environment that you are in now, no? And adjusting to this environment. I know that many still a lot of individuals get coped up in their homes, raring to go get out. But again, part of personal mastery is accepting where we are, accepting where we are now, and then adjusting to where we are. Wishful thinking will not do us good. No? So it's important to to understand where we are now, how the market condition is, no? And by mastering, by understanding those, no? Then you can have a clearer picture and a clearer mind on how to plan your business. No? So I understand that the onset of the pandemic, no, a lot of organizations panicked. No? But key to really growing in this kind of market is observing, carefully observing, talking to as many people as you can. You will make mistakes. Experimentation is key, in this market. For example, one of the things that we successfully deliver today's market is a course. We conduct workshops on virtual consultative selling. And so that's one of the immediate need that I identified at the start of the market, at the start of the pandemic. So what I did is to attend, courses abroad. Understand how does it, what are the best practices in selling virtually. And with that knowledge, we developed our own course. Customized that to the local setting. And it is now a popular workshop that we run across organizations, even to smaller organizations, so wanting to sell virtually online. So it is really understanding the market and then planning for this new market. But apart from that, Sam, it is also creating an environment at home. Right. So while we all work at home now, to keep your sanity intact, you have to create an environment which is conducive to running a business at home. Right. So surrounding yourself with positivity. Like I surrounded myself with plants. All over the place. And so when I run workshops. During breaks, I just leave my workplace and then go to the garden, do some plant trimming, and then go back again to the workshop. So that keeps me running, having a straight mind and an ever present mind, with our clients.
Yeah, happy to
Yeah,
bring that workshop to the community, Ray. Maybe we can talk offline,
yeah,
so we can.
Sam, that
Yeah.
sounds fantastic. It would be great to
Yep.
bring those resources. And I just,
Mm.
by the way, to the audience, just remind you, in addition to the Bounce Back community, which I think many of you are familiar with and belong to, encourage you also to look up the new Global Entrepreneurship Philippines page on Facebook. You can just search for Global Entre PH and make sure that you like that page and also join the group. And Ray, a lot of the offerings that you have, we'd be happy to, raise the visibility to the
Yeah.
community, through those as well. I know we don't have a lot of time, but I just wanted to come back to one of the things that you had early in your presentation and really caught my attention. And this is this idea of pattern recognition. I thought that was very interesting because I think you're right. A lot of people think, oh, innovation. Oh, I've got to be so creative. How do I come up with all these new ideas and things? And I think what I hear you saying, no, it's really not about that. So could you just maybe underscore that in the context, of a very small business? How do you go about this pattern recognition, to innovate your business?
Yes, so a lot of successful businesses, are also based on copying patterns. For example, Grab. Grab, is a copycat of Uber. Right. So and then focus on a market which is ASEAN. That is a big successful enterprise. No? And if you look at the copycats of Airbnb, you have companies from India, in China. So all these are copycats. Right. So the key to really innovating your business is looking at those business models that has been successful abroad, studying if they can be applicable in your local market, trying, testing. There's only one way to learn, but to test, that business model, and then reconfiguring that based on your experience. So what I described is actually design thinking. So it is copying, something, and then applying empathy, applying that in the local context, and then testing and configuring it to your local setting.
That's awesome. Well, I think we are actually running out of time. Ray, I hope we can maybe have you back in a future episode, perhaps to talk on design thinking
Season
would
two.
be
Season two. Yeah.
season two, right? We'll have you back
Yes.
for season two.
Yes.
So thank you so much. I know you're super busy guy. Thanks
Thank you,
for
Ray.
including us
Thank you, guys.
into this
May
discussion. Hi to
comment ko sa
Kay
sunod, Ray.
and keep healthy. Keep healthy.
Yes.
Thank you,
Same to
Ray.
you guys.
Okay, God bless, bro. Okay.
God bless.
Yeah,
Thank you
Yep.
so much, Ray.
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Back to you, Sam.
Hey, Colin, thank you. So, Colin, let's reintroduce again Global Chamber because this is actually a key off to our third episode, right? So I'm actually equally excited, to have but I won't preempt it yet. I'll let you announce it. So please take us through what Global Chamber is again, so that our BounceBack Network and BounceBack Philippines community will get to know it more. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity to do so, Sam. So, Global Chamber has been around for several years. It actually traces its roots back to the US, but it's now just all around the world. You can see we have up on the screen now the mission. We were all about accelerating cross-border business, whether it's trade and investment. We connect leaders all in all continents, and we're really trying to just help accelerate the pace of success with our members. So you can see the website there, globalchamber.org. I encourage you to visit that to understand what membership means. We now are growing. Yeah, you can go to the next slide. We're now growing in 525 major metropolitan areas around the world. Our network has grown to over 200 million in the business community. And so Ray in his talked about subscription models. So indeed, we're following that advice. So we have an annual membership. Once you join, we help connect you to trusted connections, to whether it's in your local or regional or international market. We give you access to all sorts of tremendous business resources. and you can get trusted help really anywhere in the world to sort of fill in the gaps in your business. We have a motto. And I love our motto: "Be global and unstoppable." Really is our motto. So we going to give you sort of a we help businesses grow everywhere. So even if you're just growing within the borders of the Philippines, we can still help you. But maybe as a next step, you can sort of move into the ASEAN region or the Greater Asia region, and then certainly, of course, across the world. I think on our next slide, um, this sort of just repeats what we said here. So I won't go through all of these materials, Sam. I think probably in the interest of time, I think the main message here is, we're here to help you. We have a very exciting announcement today. You can go back to that one. We have this early adopter program that we've announced through the Global Entrepreneurship Partnership here with BounceBack and BET. And we encourage you to join that early adopter program. And then part of the package, in addition to some outstanding offers that BET is giving that Dishen will tell you about, we're giving you a full 50% off on an annual membership to Global Chamber. You can join as an individual. You can also have your company join. You'll see that if you go to the join section on our website, you'll see those details. But whatever you see there in terms of membership, you can get 50% off. And we're going to be posting, so stay tuned to the Global Entrepreneurship page on Facebook, because we're going to be posting a link to how to avail of that. And also, I'm very excited just to let you know that the global founder, the CEO of Global Chamber, Doug Brunke, will be our guest next week. So we'll say more about that later, but we're going to be telling you a lot more. So Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Colin. So again, just to share it to everyone what this partnership is about. So the Global Entrepreneurship Campaign really is partnership among equals. So of course, but Global Chamber Manila is our global partner, along with the Business Enabling Toolbox, and our creator is Dishen. He'll talk about that briefly later. Bluepoint Foundation, thank you very much for providing our LMS platform, Dominguez Marketing Communications Inc, our link to media, and of course partners. Digital Bayan and BounceBack Philippines are part of the BounceBack Network group, and this is made possible through the Digital Bayanihan initiative. We intend to train 10 million Filipinos, right? So, and hopefully this program will deliver to you world-class training and certification programs. So we're just on the second episode, really powerhouse list of speakers. Colin will take you through the rest of it. So this is our 10 episodes for season 1. If you'll finish it, you will get this badge. It's called the Certified Global Entrepreneur Adept badge. There will be an exam for each of these. We'll be launching the exam probably on our episode 3. So those of you who are watching this on replay can catch up, but we'll be pointing you to that learning management system where you can take, the exams for each of these topics, each of these, episodes. Okay. And similarly, as we grow together, you'll be able to be a global certified, certified global entrepreneur master, just like Dishen and Colin, and of course, just like Ray, right? So hopefully you'll be with us on this journey. We're just on our second episode. There'll still be more seasons up ahead, but please, please do try to finish the first season, right? Okay. And with this, I'd like to invite you to this page again. Colin mentioned. Eileen, can you please post the link? Go to Facebook, look for Global Entrep PH. This is our page. Please like it. We soon will be coming with a lot of announcements. We just mentioned we'd like to bring in Ray again and bring his expertise further to help our community. And this is our group. Our group currently is composed of the early adopter programs and members from the media who were part of our initial launch, middle of this month. So once you're in the EAP or early adopter program, we're going to bring you into this group. Okay. So Global Entrep. And of course, this is the EAP. We're still open. There's still some slots left for our early adopter program. And maybe, Dishen, can you just briefly discuss what the EAP is?
Yes, thank you, Sam. I think EAP encompasses exactly what we set out to do to assist aspiring entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs within their business. It takes you from exactly that personal mastery through guiding you through many different functions within your organizations, through the various exams and experienced speakers that you would be introduced to as the weeks go by on our programs. I think with the partnership between BounceBack and the Community Global Chamber and its reach over 200 million, as Colin mentioned, and the thousands of businesses that BET supports globally, I think we provide a great package for aspiring entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs to bounce back. And with that being said, I will get into BET, or there will be a short BET video that will be played later on. But from joining the EAP or the early adopter program, BET has also sponsored 100 licenses for every member on the program, which you'll be able to use practically within your organization. So, and for those that have not taken up the offer, BET also provides a 70% discount to members or from the BounceBack community using the code presented now, that they could actually use to access BET.
Yep, thank you. We'll be posting the website also, Dishan, on our chat, right? So again, thank you very much. This is a very generous offer, from Dishan, because the cost of one plan is around $350. So just imagine the amount of investment that Dishan is bringing into the BounceBack community because of this one. So if you cannot make it to the AP and cannot wait to use BET, just go to the site and then you can type in the code. Okay, so next episode on June 2 already, man. It's the middle of the year. Colin and Dishan, right?
Hard to believe.
Yeah, flew so fast. So this is the episode. So of course, Doug was announced, and Jason's going to join us. So there'll be 4 of us, as panelists and moderators. And Colin, maybe again, you'd like to invite people to our audience to our 3rd episode.
Yes, please do join us next week. We're going to be focusing on the next topic, which is how you can grow globally too. And I added this word, too, because I think a lot of people somehow mistakenly believe, oh no, I'm too small, I can't access anything but my backyard. And that's really no longer true in this digital world that we have. You'd be quite surprised of the opportunities that are out there for you if you just sort of open your horizons. So to guide us through that, we're very excited because we have Doug Brunke, who founded Global Chamber. He serves as the global CEO as well. He oversees all of these hundreds of chapters we have around the world. He's lived internationally. He's in the US now, but he's also lived in Asia before. So he really knows our region, and I think it's going to be very exciting. So please mark your calendars now, set the reminders, and please do be with us next Wednesday.
Yep, thank you, Colin. Then of course, thank you everyone for joining us. Those joining us on replay, please catch the first episode too. It's also on the BounceBack Network pages. So again, thank you very much, Colin, Dishan. This is only our 2nd episode, but looking forward to the 3rd episode next week with Doug. So again, on behalf of the BounceBack Network and our partners, thank you very much for joining us to the 2nd episode of Global Entrepreneurship. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want to have the foresight of Warren Buffett or Steve Jobs? Growing your business couldn't be easier. BET's unique and easy-to-use platform is your ultimate business companion. Available whenever you need it, no matter where you are, 24/7.
And who wouldn't want their business to do better? Whether you want to expand, increase sales, or spread out to new locations, it's important to know what you need to do, why you need to do it, and how you should do it.
BET gives you all the essential tools that you need to maximize your profits. Keep track of your finances, target the right customers, become an exceptional leader, assess risk, and set goals for your business. Cross-device functionality and a comprehensive toolbox of downloadable pre-populated templates are just some of the benefits of BET.
Let BET show you the what, why, and how of setting achievable goals for your business